Hello. I don't know if that's the right tone. Hello. Welcome to the Paladin's Palace. No, that's just the Discord channel. Hello. My name is the Paladin. This video is a Five Nights at Freddy's theory video, so if you're not into that, you might want to click off. But it's also my first video, and it would mean a lot if you stayed. This video was supposed to come out 2 years ago, and about 2 years ago, I was streaming every day for months, 6 hours at a time, and what made me quit was Thankmas. If you don't know what Thankmas is, it is a charity live stream hosted by a popular YouTuber by the name of Jacksepticeye. But I didn't raise any money. It was building homes for the homeless, and I only got about 20 bucks from my own mom, which is not, bad. I believe it pays for a window. It just made me realize that I didn't know what I was doing. So I backed out and promised I'd go back into this game with a plan. This is that plan. So I'm going to be posting as many videos as I can. Every other Wednesdays, every other Saturdays, and a stream every Sunday. And I'm just going to do what feels right. I'm not going to do every cheap tactic with getting dozens of other channels and posting clips of your own videos. I don't have too much social media. I won't be promoting myself too much. I want to do what's smart, but I also want to do what feels right. I just want to make some people happy. One of those people is me. So, this might not be the most entertaining video, but I'd ask that you please listen, just enjoy, do anything with it, because it'll mean a lot. I just want to do it. This little adventure that I want to start, I just want to do it. So without further ado, please enjoy Five Nights at Freddy's theories that will change the way you think about the game. Five Nights at Freddy's 1. An incredible game that shows the story of a security guard in a pizzeria chain known as Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. This wondrous restaurant has soared ahead in children's entertainment due to their top-of-the-line animatronic entertainers. They can move around the pizzeria and they can even play music. The gameplay itself consists of you playing as a nighttime security guard, trying desperately to keep the animatronics from entering your office, all with an overarching horror theme. However, what makes the game so great is that the story beneath the gameplay is so much more complicated than many other games of its kind. Many people across the last few years have spent hours, and in the case of MatPat from Game Theory, probably a solid decade, trying to unravel the lore beneath these interesting lines of code. Today, I would like to focus on 3 different things. Who is the main character of the games you play? Springtrap from FNAF 3, and the relationship between FNAF 2 and Security Breach. One of the bigger problems when making theories for FNAF is figuring out who we are playing as in each game. And whilst I cannot definitively say who we play as, I think I have an idea on what we play as. With just a simple observation, I can put quite the idea on the board. I'm actually trying my best to make a video game of my own. Inspired by a popular game by the name of Dredge, I would like to make a small resource collecting game. I say this because it is becoming increasingly obvious that any small detail takes the most amount of effort to design and add. And so there was something that struck me a little bit odd when playing some of the games. There are different death screens in each game. In some of the games, there is a static death screen, similar to TV Snow. But in other games, like FNAF 4, the screen is filled with blood, which I believe to be an interesting correlation to what you play as. My theory is that the games with a static death screen, you play as a robot. And the games with a blood death screen, you play as a human. If you don't understand what I mean by this, There are many different instances within the Five Nights at Freddy's universe in which real people are replaced with animatronic versions of themselves, sometimes without even realizing. And it was even confirmed that some of the characters you play as, in certain games, are robots, and that's why they're unable to die. Such as the main character of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. The main character in that version is a robot. It's one of the reasons why that character can't die. Another character that can't die is Springtrap. Now, Springtrap is quite an interesting character. For those who don't know, Springtrap is a version of a very evil man called William Afton. William Afton is a serial killer who uses a spring-lock suit in order to lure children into the back of pizzerias to murder them. Spring-lock suits double as both animatronics and suits. Just wind the spring locks back to hold back the mechanisms and motors that make it a robot, and you can wear it. However, due to a malfunction, William got trapped inside these suits, and thus, Springtrap was born. The theory that I have comes from a frustration MatPat had in the other games. See, in Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted, we are led to believe that the company scanned the hardware of old animatronics in order to cheap out on the making of new Freddy Fazbear's games. But it was difficult to believe that someone looked inside the mechanisms of Springtrap and simply dismissed the rotting corpse inside. I think that Springtrap has something called a sound illusion disc somewhere on the suit. Firstly, a sound illusion disc is something first discovered in the books, described to be a small circular disc that emits a certain frequency that causes hallucinations. We get examples in the books that tell of nightmarish creatures that come out of seemingly nowhere, or otherwise harmless equipment. We also know that in Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, a sound illusion disc is found on the Freddy animatronic. We know that robot to harbor storage compartments designed to hold children, and we can assume that the sound illusion discs are used to hide the bodies of the kids inside Freddy. So we know that sound illusion discs are capable of creating nightmarish creatures and hide objects. Well, here's the kicker. In the third game of the franchise, your job is to keep Springtrap from entering your office. But it's actually coded into the game that he never appears on the first night. Only the nights afterward does he show himself. Coincidentally, it is only when he shows himself that you hear a faint buzz and something called the phantom animatronics come out of seemingly nowhere. It also makes sense why he would get into the suit in the first place. See, the reason for the springlock failure is because the souls of the children he killed actually come back to haunt him. But it would make perfect sense for him to get into the suit because they wouldn't be able to actually see him thanks to the sound illusion discs. Of course he doesn't want to be found, he's a murderer. And finally, here we are. The last theory. See, in all of this, eventually William gets trapped. He's burnt in a fire and tortured for all eternity. There was a little girl named Cassidy. William killed this little girl. Filled with so much rage, she is the soul responsible for keeping William down in hell forever. There's also another character that's important. See, in the books, there tells a tale of a time-traveling ball pit. Weird, I know, but stay with me. A kid by the name of Oswald fell into this pit and traveled back in time to witness the crimes William committed. He grows up to be a game developer. Now, MatPat believes that Oswald created the 8-bit minigames that are secretly hidden in every FNAF game. But as was said before, I am trying my best to learn how to make a video game of my own. And if I were taken back in time, I would not know how to make 8-bit minigames. I would know how to code in Java. I would understand Unity. And so I wouldn't make 8-bit minigames. I would stick to what I know. I think Oswald made games about the murders within Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. And there, William learned not to kill Cassidy. Thus, a different timeline was born. A timeline with a game called Security Breach. That's right, folks, I think that the events of the video game Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach actually take place on a separate timeline where William learned from his mistakes. It makes absolute sense. The fact that there should be no way for William to have escaped his eternal torture. The fact that in Security Breach you find a mask of the puppet, another animatronic who usually cries. But now you can see that there are no tears. Not because the spirit moved on, but because it never happened in the first place. And above all, there are incredible similarities between FNAF 2 and Security Breach, which I'm willing to bet take place at the same time on different timelines. Both have the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Both have state-of-the-art improved security. Both have a version of Chica, one of the other animatronics, losing their beak. Both have a version of Freddy that you can hide in. Both buildings are on lockdowns. Both games introduce endoskeletons. Even shadow animatronics are present in both games, with Security Breach having them appear in the Princess Quest games. Ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, do I even need to go on? I hope I've made a dent in the current theories everyone has made. I hope I've offered an angle for new ways of thinking. And I hope above all else, I hope you absolutely enjoyed watching. This has been a long time in the making, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. If you want to watch more, I'll be posting every other Wednesdays, every other Saturdays, and I'll be live streaming every Sunday. And to MatPat, please reach out to me. I would absolutely love to collaborate with you. I'd love to make a new timeline, or even just talk about FNAF in general. Above all else, I would really love to meet you. You are an incredible person and an absolute inspiration to this whole adventure that I'm about to start. I can't wait for what's to come. With all that said, I hope you have a delightful day. I truly hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Good luck and goodbye.